Burkina Faso's President Ibrahim Traore stood beneath the stifling heat of Ouagadougou's relentless sun as the black SUV pulled into the heavily guarded compound of the Palais Quotient. His sharp eyes narrowed, not at the vehicle, but at what it represented, a calculated power play between sovereign justice and colonial ghosts. The door opened slowly, and two military police officers dragged out a disheveled man in a gray shirt, his hands bound in plastic ties. His face was bloodied but defiant, his blue eyes scanning the surroundings with clinical detachment. Charles Lefebvre, code named Vespertine by the DGSE, France's foreign intelligence agency, had been caught transmitting encrypted files from a secure location in Ouagadougou. The files implicated multiple high-ranking Burkinabé officers in a planned coup, one allegedly engineered by Paris. The revelation had fractured the military hierarchy, and now, with Charles in custody, Ibrahim faced a vortex of suspicion, fear, and geopolitical chaos. He turned to Captain Diallo, his most trusted operative, who stood ready with a briefcase full of evidence. "Bring him inside," Ibrahim said coldly. The air in the presidential situation room turned electric as Charles was forced into a chair, the tension between him and the surrounding military elite palpable. "You knew we were watching," Ibrahim began, voice low but thunderous. "Yet you came anyway. Why?" Charles, blood trickling from his nose, smirked. "Because the West never stopped watching, and neither did you." Captain Diallo slammed his fist on the table. "You were caught with satellite schematics, military logistics, and digital correspondence between mercenaries and French consuls. Speak before we silence you for good." Charles winced but held firm. "You think this is about maps and emails? The moment you stepped out of ECOWAS and sided with Wagner, this was always coming. France doesn't forgive disobedience, and neither does Russia. You're in the middle, Mr. President." Ibrahim's fists clenched, but he maintained composure. "So the files, the coup plans, were they real or planted to spark distrust among my men?" Charles tilted his head. "Does it matter? Distrust is the only currency of power. Even this conversation is a battlefield." The room fell silent. Colonel Zongo, a veteran of 3 juntas, stepped forward. "This could collapse the state. Half our command believes you manufactured this arrest to purge opponents. The other half is asking why the French haven't denied it. What if the spy speaks to the press, or worse, if Paris demands him back?" Ibrahim stood and looked directly into Charles's eyes. "They won't demand you back, because you don't exist. And because the moment they do, I will prove to the world that France is still playing puppet master in West Africa." Night had fallen, casting eerie shadows on the compound as a secret meeting convened within the underground bunker. Ibrahim, Diallo, Zongo, and a surprising new figure, Ouakabor, former intelligence chief and currently an independent advisor, met to decide Charles's fate. Owa, elegant and sharp-witted, was the only one who had once dined with Charles in Paris under diplomatic guise. "He's dangerous because he's right," she said. "He doesn't need to be freed, he just needs to speak and the fire spreads." Diallo growled, "Then we cut out his tongue." Ibrahim frowned. "No, we need leverage. We will use his knowledge, feed selective truths to shape the narrative, but we must root out who in our command was ready to betray us." Awa leaned forward. "Start with Zongo. He received funds routed through a phantom French NGO 3 months ago." Zongo stood, eyes blazing. "Lies. If I wanted to take power, I wouldn't need French help." Ibrahim raised a hand. "Sit down, Colonel. Everyone is a suspect now, even me. That's what this man has brought upon us." Meanwhile, in his cell, Charles smirked in the dark. He had hidden a microchip in his belt's lining, a timed transmitter. Somewhere out there in Mali or Côte d'Ivoire, a receiver would be flashing green. The next wave had already been activated. Just before dawn, chaos erupted. Communications were jammed. A convoy bearing UN markings appeared near the northern perimeter but failed to respond to hails. Ibrahim, summoned from a sleepless night, stormed into the war room. "Seal the palace. Check all clearances. No one enters or leaves without my word." Diallo turned, face pale. "They breached our firewall. Files from the Charles interrogation. Everything has been uploaded anonymously. It's trending across Francophone media. The world now believes France plotted your overthrow." Ibrahim's jaw tightened. They wanted to force my hand, now they will watch me use it. Down in the detention wing, Charles had vanished. Only a dead guard and a shattered surveillance unit remained. Awa stormed in. It was internal, the code used to disable the cameras, Diallo's clearance. The room turned ice cold. Ibrahim drew his sidearm. Explain. Diallo stepped back. I didn't, I swear. They must have cloned my ID, or Zongo, it could be him, he had access. But Zongo was already dead. Found slumped in his quarters, poisoned. Ibrahim lowered his weapon, staring at both surviving allies. This is no longer about Charles. It's about who among us wants to burn the country down just to rule the ashes. As the presidential alarm blared and sirens filled the city, Awa whispered, "The ghost of colonialism doesn't wear a foreign face anymore. It wears our uniform." And just then, from the palace balcony, a low-flying drone dropped a metallic box onto the courtyard below. Soldiers scrambled, aiming rifles, but no explosion came. Instead, the box hissed open, revealing a folded flag, neither French nor Burkinabe, but one bearing the Wagner insignia. Alongside it was a satellite phone. It rang. Ibrahim picked it up. A Russian-accented voice spoke. "Mr. President, you have a choice. Stability under our umbrella or civil war lit by French fire. The spy was our courier. The betrayal was seeded to expose your weak links." Ibrahim's eyes went dark. "You used us as a proving ground." "No," the voice replied. "We used him and now he is gone." The line went dead. Ibrahim looked over the courtyard where the flag fluttered eerily. Awa stepped beside him. "What will you do?" He didn't answer. He just dropped the phone and walked away into the silent halls of power, now tainted with the scent of every empire's ambition. In that moment, the president of Burkina Faso wasn't choosing between France or Russia. He was choosing whether his nation would survive either.